Боги уготовили тебе особую участь, великую судьбу.
Принц Персии. Пески времени. Путешествие на съемочную площадку, знакомство с Дастоном.
Стоп, снято! Отлично, еще дублик.
Дастон, принц Персии. Изначально обычный простолюдин, который однажды становится приближенным царя, не подозревая при этом, какая судьба его ждет. В руки Дастона попадает кинжал, но он еще не знает, что за сила в нем скрыта. Освободив пески, я могу поворачивать время вспять. И только владелец кинжала знает, что это произошло. Ты это видел? Время все сотрет. Один из персонажей фильма хочет заполучить кинжал, чтобы изменить ход истории. Его нужно остановить. Его нужно остановить, его нужно остановить. И герой отправляется в путь, чтобы защитить кинжал.
Где кинжал, Дастон?
Я не против, если ты меня обыщешь. Только тщательно. У Дастона в рукаве всегда есть пара козырей. Ну-ка, подержите. Он постоянно попадает в самые невероятные ситуации. И как-то выпутывается из них. Сейчас закончим этот фрагмент, и начнется что-то интересное.
У Джейка столько экшн-сцен, и он великолепно справляется. Наверное, это врожденное.
Третий шаг, самый сложный! Мотор!
Съемки — это всегда интересный и приятный процесс. Такими же получается и фильмы. То, что нужно, чтобы как следует расслабиться.
Основной сюжет фильма — спасение песков времени от рук злодеев.
Пески времени обладают магическим свойством, они позволяют владельцу перемещаться во времени. Тот, у кого находится кинжал, единственный может видеть, как время поворачивается вспять. Значит, это правда. Он может изменять прошлое. Мы потратили приличное время на разработку внешнего вида кинжала. Он должен выглядеть естественно, но при этом быть не похожим на другое оружие. Дизайн клинка весьма необычен, а вся его плоскость покрыта искусной гравировкой. Достаточно нажать на драгоценный камень в рукоятке, и волшебный песок тут же поворачивает время вспять.
О, нет, лучше этого не делай.
Скорее к тоннелю! Если использовать пески времени со злым умыслом, наступит конец света. Когда ты украл кинжал, его перевозили в надежное место. Если он попадет не в те руки, ты не понимаешь, насколько это серьезно.
Дастон понимает, что кинжал — ценнейший артефакт, за которым охотятся все, кому не лень.
Славный ножик.
Время все сотрет.
Дастон и моя героиня спасаются вместе, преодолевают множество препятствий и вынуждены становятся союзниками.
Кажется, ты обожаешь командовать.
Только потому, что ты беспрекословно подчиняешься.
Лучше не испытывай мое терпение. Способность поворачивать время вспять. Кто о ней не мечтал? Я люблю обращаться к темам, на которых давно не зарабатывали денег. Мир принца Персии, мир восточных сказок. Принц Персии. Пески времени. Как снять сказку с размахом. Это очень интересный мир. Интереснее всего, что вы видели. Мы снимали в Марокко, там очень красивые пейзажи.
В Марокко много контрастных ландшафтов. Вот высушенная пустыня, а вот заснеженные горы. Просто невероятно.
Идеальное место для съемок, красивое и загадочное. Нет ничего лучше натурных съемок в таких местах, от которых веет многовековым духом истории.
Смотрите же и трепещите, страусы!
Съемки в Марокко проходили непросто.
Что, жарко? Хуже.
Жара, жара, жара. Никогда такого не ощущала.
Приготовиться, камера, мотор.
Ты вот так оставишь меня здесь? В этой дыре? О, благородный Достан!
Даруй мне силы не убить ее. Мы построили целый квартал нашего города на окраине Марракеша. Куда бы мы ни смотрели, повсюду глаз натыкался на искусную настенную резьбу и самые прекрасные дворцы в истории кинематографа. Задействованы сотни статистов.
Мы выдвигаемся к восточным вратам.
Картина поистине эпического масштаба. Все замешано на волшебстве, поэтому спецэффекты должны быть на уровне.
Эффекты добавляют фильму еще одно измерение, свою магию.
Невероятные задумки, невероятный размах.
Беги! Итак, первый вопрос. Обычно в героическом фэнтези на экране главный персонаж сначала предстает в качестве лузера и лишь потом становится героем.
Точно.
А в «Принце Персии» ваш персонаж-герой с самого начала. Тогда какой, с вашей точки зрения, этот образ получает развитие во время фильма?
Хороший вопрос, потому что именно его я задал режиссеру после того, как прочитал сценарий. Я сам хотел, чтобы было ощущение пути из грязи в герои. И, наверное, для себя я это определил так. Вначале мой персонаж что-то делает неосознанно. Помогает мальчишке просто так, не ради совершения добра. Не чувствует в себе это начало. Зритель видит, что Достан творит добро, но сам он этого не замечает чуть ли не до конца фильма. По-моему, тоже неплохая версия пути.
Скорее, обретение мудрости, да?
Да, и принятие того факта, что порой судьба может быть предопределена заранее.
Спасибо. Поговорим о других превратностях судьбы.
Давайте.
Известно, что на съемках в Марокко была страшная жара и даже песчаные бури. Как с этим справлялись?
Ну, конечно же, не обошлось без этого самого популярного вопроса. Однако у меня особых проблем с жарой не было. Съемки фильма — это приключение. В этом кайф профессии. Такое же приключение, как в кино. И мне не было так уж жарко, ведь я же вырос в пустыне. Часть съемочной группы из Англии, конечно, привыкла к дождливой погоде и страдала от жары. Но я чувствовал себя как рыба в воде. Звучит глупо, но мне понравилось.
Как там в Марокко с местными? Они приходили на съемочную площадку?
Да, конечно. Они там повсюду. Как же без них?
И чего, узнавали вас, приветствовали?
На самом деле нет. Я думаю, у них свои звезды, знаменитости и любимые актеры. Хотя, может быть, будут узнавать, когда фильм посмотрят.
На экране вы в великолепной физической форме. Как удалось добиться такого рельефа?
Тоже эксклюзивный вопрос. Впервые его слышим. Ну, в общем, конечно же, я занимался. Спорт и так составляет важную часть моей повседневной жизни. А тут я просто буквально готовился как спортсмен к соревнованиям. И я знал, что предстоят сложные трюки, которые я хотя бы попробую выполнить сам. И если хочешь выглядеть уверенно на экране, нужно серьезно заниматься. Так что речь шла о стандартных силовых тренировках, плюс я учился экзотике, типа паркура. Очень жесткая и сложная штука.
И как, достигли вершин? Сможете в реальной ситуации проскакать по крышам?
Ну, хоть что-то я точно запомнил. Вначале все это было в новинку, и я даже не представлял, как грациозно выходят у меня эти прыжки.
Здорово. Мы с вами почти одного возраста, и его хватает на то, чтобы застать в детстве игру «Принц Персии».
Да, конечно. Я играл в самую первую версию «Принца».
Ностальгия нахлынула во время съемок или вообще нет?
Ну, конечно же, были воспоминания о тех далеких днях, когда я 8-летним пацаном рубился в «Принце». Когда предложили проект, я вспомнил, но не сразу связал его со старой игрой, потому что сейчас у всех на слуху новые, очень популярные современные версии. Так что поначалу я не сообразил, а потом как накрыло, и детство вспомнилось.
А я, когда смотрела фильм, первым делом вспомнила старую игру, особенно падающие сверху плиты.
Точняк. И шипы из пола.
Все это очень узнаваемо и потому очень мило.
Да.
Следующий вопрос. Если бы у вас, как у человека или актера, оказался кинжал времени... Что, этот вопрос тоже задают часто?
Нет, как раз нет.
Так вот, изменили бы вы что-то в своей жизни или карьере?
Нет. Как ни странно, нет. Сожаление о чем-то — отличный учитель. Перемены должны основываться на опыте прошлого. Так что я бы не стал его менять.
Хорошо. И еще вопрос. Есть такая тенденция
Да-да.
привязывать сюжеты голливудских блокбастеров к политике США,
Есть.
к внешней политике.
Точно.
В каком-то смысле и принц ищет несуществующее оружие массового поражения, да? Что вы об этом думаете?
Конечно, сценарий начинал писаться еще в те времена, когда гремели скандалы с оружием массового поражения в Ираке. Но, по большому счету, во время съемок все обо всем уже давно знали. И потому у меня не возникало ощущения политической привязки. Вопрос уже закрыт. На самом деле, если я снимаюсь в фильмах с политическим подтекстом, то предпочитаю, чтобы этот самый подтекст служил лишь фоном для происходящих событий, для раскрытия основного сюжета.
Еще дубль. Камера, мотор и начали. Наш герой Достан. Свою жизнь он начал на улице. Мы взяли мальчика 10 лет, и он сыграл маленького Джейка Джилленхола. Уличный мальчишка, которого царь взял к себе благодаря его смелости. Он спасает маленького мальчика, и это видит царь.
Стой!
И мы карабкаемся на крыши и прыгаем, чтобы уйти от погони.
Попался!
Наш парнишка просто фанат паркура. Ну, я занимаюсь паркуром, фрираном. Там самое главное — это грамотное движение, и все. Когда он увидел, кто будет с ним заниматься, этих богов из Франции, у него глаза на лоб полезли. Давид Бель. Он основал паркур. Я никогда не думал, что встречусь с ним. Я очень волновался, узнав, что буду с ним тренироваться. Это и радость, и тяжелый труд. Но радости все равно намного больше. Он вырастает и становится принцем Персии.
Prince of Persia is about protecting the sands of time. If you destroy the sands of time, then the world comes to an end.
Time will erase everything.
It has a wonderful fantasy element about this very special dagger. If you drop some of these sands of time out of this dagger, time stops and goes backwards.
And set in such an interesting world. It just goes beyond that level of what you're used to seeing.
Dastan is the Prince of Persia. He's this young man who was plucked off the streets to be made as the son of the king.
But he's a person over whom hangs a very powerful destiny.
That's impossible.
Difficult, not impossible.
There's this priestess, Tamina, is a young girl who has the mission in life of protecting the sands of time, and Destan falls in love with her.
You really enjoy telling me what to do, don't you?
Only because you're so good at following orders.
Yeah, don't press your luck.
They're on the run all the way through, and there's all these obstacles getting in the way. They become allies to protect this dagger.
We have these bad guys called the Hassan Sins.
They have all these expertise in various weapons, and they're on the hunt for the sands of time. Fortunately for Dastan, he's a kid who can walk on walls and run something we call parkour.
We're doing huge visual effects.
It's got enormous imagination. It's got an enormous scope.
It's a love story, and it's a comedy as well.
Dastan, where's the dagger?
You're welcome to search me for it. You'll have to be very thorough.
Anytime I can bring something to the screen which is unique and different and fresh, and that's what Prince of Persia gives to an audience.
We have these bad guys called the Hassan Sins.
The High Temple. It's guarded by some sort of demon.
They're these incredible warriors who are on the hunt for a young prince.
The Sansons have no remorse, and they are in search for the dagger.
They're a kind of mystery or a legend of Persia. People don't know if they really exist or not.
Each assassin has a different weapon that he uses, and those weapons are absolutely ferocious.
Be it slithering snakes out of their arms, or spikes out of their wrists.
And our almost mystical characters can do unbelievable things. Prince of Persia's got phenomenal action.
They have designed some of the most insane stunts you've ever seen.
It's like they're on the run all the way through, and we come across all the bad guys.
And I fight them all.
That's all you got?
All the actors had to go to a kind of boot camp. They had to learn to ride. They had to learn to sword fight.
I've always wanted to do an action movie. I kind of fancied myself as a bit of a stunt girl. For the record, I did that stunt myself.
What I've learned is that most stuntmen and most of the stunt coordinators want the actor to do it and enjoy it when the actor does it.
Dastan, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, has parkour skills.
Well, parkour is about using your environment to get from point A to point B. If it's a rope, you use a rope. If it's a wall, you use a wall.
We brought some of the great world experts at parkour in to teach us what to do and how to make it look good.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle David Bell, je suis à l'origine du parcours.
It's so exciting to watch. I mean, these people are jumping and bouncing off walls and off ceilings, and it's all done without wires.
All the stunts that we have are really gonna astound people.
There is every possible combination of combat in this movie. Running up walls, running off walls. The great thing about being the hero in the movie is that you get to do it all.
Well, she believes that her destiny is to protect the dagger no matter what, but that changes actually when she meets Dastan. Oh God, he has so much action, but he does really well at it. He's a bit of an action figure himself, I think.
I think that their signs all along the way throughout our life that tell us things that we can either pay attention to or not.
She realizes that his destiny is actually part of her destiny.
This won't be the last time we'll be together.
Princess Tamina has the mission in life of protecting the sands of time.
Releasing the sand turns back time.
Dastan, we must protect the dagger. It's been incredible to see what movie making can be. And I think I have the most outfits in the film.
This is my princess outfit. This is going to be the Disney shop outfit, I think.
It's great. You can track her journey through the film through what she wears. Tamina has these symbolic henna tattoos on her hands and on her feet, and they take a long time. They're hand-painted on. Three hours in the chair in the morning to make me look like a princess. The Secret Guardian Temple is the one place the dagger can be hidden safely, the only way to stop this Armageddon. Just creating a new world, creating something that's never, ever been done before is really exciting. It's great to be a Disney princess.
Never play as the kids from back over there. In the Casbah, which you'll see as we walk through there. But he's created actually a beautiful surface through the whole thing. So he's like capitalized on all the kind of organic stuff that exists in the place. Taken the open space here and built this courtyard, which will be. I'm so pleased with how it works. It gives us. How you feeling?
Really good, thanks.
You ready to do this? I'm ready to be you. I've been playing for a month. I've been being you. I hope you do you as well as I do you. If that makes any sense to you. How you feeling?
Yeah, really.
I saw the stuff you did. It was fantastic.
What, the
Your
acting?
audition. And hurricane and action!
Background action! Action! Good there, cut there, thank you. Yes, that was good. How was it? Background action. Scouting for heavy fortifications.
Paintings have a look nice. Paintings have a look.
So, for once, the stories are true. We know you secretly build weapons for enemies of Persia. Now, show us where.
We have no forges here. And what weapons we had, you overcame.
Background, action! Hey, Lion of Persia!
They're calling you the Lion of Persia. You've never excelled at following orders, Dastan.
But I have some explaining to do.
No. We have some celebrating to do.
That's something I do excel at.
There is, however, tradition. Since you took the honor of first assault, you owe me a gift of homage.
Cut! Very good. Print. One more, please.
You do.
You'll never even make it to Agra. Your whole plan is suicide.
My brother murdered my father. He left his blood on my hands. If I die trying to make that right, then so be it.
So you're going to leave me here? In the middle of nowhere? Noble Dastan, abandoning a helpless woman in the wilderness. What does your precious honor say about that?
Give me the strength not to kill her.
Wielding blades said to be blessed by the Creator himself. They have such murderous accuracy that they can decapitate 3 men in one strike. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'll tell you why. This is Cessa. Come back here.
Halakha! Behold the mighty ostrich!
And so the tax collectors, they steer clear of me and my customers. Everybody's happy.
Right.
Well, as with any pan-tribal clientele, there's always the small matter of blood feuds, ancient hatreds, honor killings. Such are the times we live in. Get the girls on, come on! Where are you? Crowd control! Come on, let's get those drinks on! Yeah, you not. That's out of your way. Don't look at me like that.
Just in case. A bit more headroom. Okay, cool. All right, very good. All right. Okay, thank you. And cutting down our okay. You come out. Action!
set, and action. And slip. And slip. And start beating it out, Rob. Start beating it out, beat it out, beat it out. Go for your move, go for your move. And action! Got there? Here we go. And action! And cut. One more. One more straight away.
I'll find him, Uncle, I swear it. He won't get out of the city.
I'm sure he already has.
I've let you down, haven't I, Uncle?
Eat something, gossip.
I've been thinking, Uncle. Why would Dastan come to Avran, where he knows it's dangerous?
I was wondering the same thing,
Your Majesty.
I thought you were staying in Alaman.
changing one's mind is a king's prerogative, Kasif.
A wonderful surprise.
All right, camera set.
Play a little more this way. There.
Okay, and
Ready.
action. Cut there.
It's a sacred obligation, passed down through generations unbroken.
It's quite an inheritance.
Yes, right. Okay, I wouldn't have it. Yeah, just grab it.
Yeah, you know, because again,
Yeah, exactly. Storage. Yeah. Yeah, that should be okay.
Cut! French! Very good. One more.
Take 4, A mark.
Three marker.
D marker. And both say, set, Mike.
I play Sheikh Amar, who is a sort of roguish opportunist. He's a trader. He's really doesn't care whether he breaks the law. He's quite dangerous at times. He's described he describes himself as an entrepreneur, but his methods are unusual, unconventional, and he's basically a thief. It's all part of, it's like good storytelling. It's just, there's nothing like taking an audience by surprise. And I think that audiences will be surprised by this. I don't think we've ever seen ostrich racing in quite this way on film. And I don't think we've seen a member of the human species being quite so emotionally involved with an ostrich. I think we're breaking new ground here, both filmically and probably legally. Well, filming in Morocco was pretty intense and very, very interesting, because we had a whole range of conditions that we worked under. The heat of the desert, and we worked up in mountains and so on. And we started off in the spring and worked into the height of the summer, so it was very, very hot. But it's such an extraordinarily beautiful place. I mean, it's quite stunning, and it's not surprising that so many films get to shoot there, because it's very rewarding visually. So that's what you look for in a director. You look for someone who can run the team, and Mike does that very easily. He carries that responsibility very lightly. He loves what he does. He comes impeccably prepared, and he's generous with his time, and he's generous with his with his efforts. He's more than happy to hear what you've got to say. He's got time for everybody. And he's very clear about what he wants and what he doesn't want, and if you come with him with an idea that he knows isn't going to work or he can't use, he's honest about it, and he'll just say can't do it, or yes, we'll do that definitely, and that's and I love that. I think it's you need someone in charge.
It is by definition an epic. And it will have enormous cavalry charges, camel cavalry charges, sieges against huge fortresses. It will have the most splendid palaces you've ever seen on the screen, and it will have shafts underneath the palaces that go into the actual sands of time hourglass itself. And so it explores what's above the surface and explores what's beneath the surface, which not only is epic, but it's also a beautiful metaphor for what goes on the surface in us as human beings and what's really going on inside us as human beings. And sometimes they can be two very different things. She's a great leading lady. She's a wonderful presence on the set. And she's extremely good as the princess. She's a very, very accomplished actor. I think he brings to the table an embrace of the role that involves the director and he in very serious debates about what another actor would think of as a minor moment that you just push through. So there's a good level of debate between him and Mike, and that's always good for, it sets a precedent for the rest of the team to be able to continue and enjoy that debate. So it can be very healthy. Mike Newell is a wonderful conductor in that he makes the orchestra play exactly the same notes that they played a few months ago, and then start from there. Not to deaden it by repetition, but to just start from where you left off. And we can't remember where we left off. He can. He has the help of looking at the screen, but nevertheless he can translate it into language that the actor thrives on. And you know, all his advice makes us smile. It's really helpful and very embracing. And what's lovely about Mike particularly is that he sees everything you do. You never need to worry about offering Mike something on the camera and him perhaps not seeing it. He sees everything.
So there's romance, there's comedy, there's this wonderful kind of basic mythological story where you sit, if I've got it right, you sit in front of it and say, yeah, go on, tell me, and then, and then, and then, and then. And you have this action film as well. It's the action is very exciting. Lots of cool fighting. One of the objects that they've captured when they captured the city, and that he specifically, Dastan, captured because he defeated in a fight the man whose job it was to carry this thing to safety. He has got a dagger which has obviously special properties, but he has no idea what those properties are. Jake can hold a sword. Jake can run and clamber and jump, and Jake can ride a horse as if he was glued to the back of it. And that I didn't expect. I expected the acting, I expected the lovely looks, I expected, once we had all worked on it, for there to be a handsome body and so forth. But I didn't know that he would look great with a sword. She was wonderful as an impatient aristocrat. Nobody is going to talk down to her. Just that. She's royal. And so this working class girl from a manufacturing town in the south of England came and was playing a queen, and playing it really well. And I loved her for that, because it was obviously such a stretch for her. I thought she was great. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. It's a genre in itself which I've never done before. And so what a Jerry Bruckheimer movie is, you look at the Pirates movies, they're part adventure, part love story, part comedy, part action. They're a lot of things. And so is this.
This is the kind of the best friend and the right-hand man of Dastan the Prince. He's kind of, I would say, Dastan's conscience. So, you know, Dastan has this rogue kind of streak in his blood which says, let's do this, let's go there, and this is the one that kind of says, he's been royally appointed, and he kind of says, hang on, what if, you know? I've had to do extensive combat training, had to kill a few people with some pretend swords. We did fitness in Hyde Park in London. We ran and did circuit training. We've trained out here in Morocco in the gyms. We've prepared quite extensively, some horse training, some horse riding. Even though I don't do extensive horse riding in the movie, they still wanted me to be confident on a horse. So, yeah, a lot of training.
Well, I'm playing Tos, Prince Tos, and he is the Crown Prince of Persia. So I'm heir to the throne, effectively. I'm going to be taking over the empire. Dastan is my youngest brother, who's a bit like a yappy pop, I think, for Tos. And I think I love my younger brother, but he's all heart and no head, in the same sort of analogy. He's all heart and quite reckless. And I think also there's part of me that would like to be more like Dastan. But I am expected to be the politician. I'm expected to keep my cool and do the political thing, whereas he sort of runs around and jumps off buildings and, you know, all kinds of stuff that I don't get to do. So I think there's a little bit of, you know, maybe a little bit of envy, but I love the guy deep down. I've never done anything this big before. And, you know, and the movies I've done and the things I've done, you know, small scale, small fry compared to this. I mean, I don't know how many people would have done something this size. But it's great. I mean, it's great. You know, we've got like 6 stages here at Pinewood, full of our sets or something. Amazing.
Well, I play King Shahraman, who is the father of the 2 legitimate sons, Tus and Garsiv, and the adoptive father of Dastan. You rode into a city, you didn't ride into a set, you forgot you were on a set. It just lifted you. It really did. There's no question. And plus all those extras and the dust and again the heat and the ostriches and the camels and the horses and the dogs and the cats and all the animals. It's just fabulous.
I play Garsiv in The Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Garsiv is one of the brothers of Dastan and Tus. Tus and Garsiv are the genuine sons of King Shahraman, played by Ronald Pickup. And Tus, my brother Richard Coyle, is the future king. He's the elder brother. And Dastan, played by Jake, is our adopted sibling. It's awe-inspiring to work on those kinds of sets, you know. I mean, we're sitting here now in Pinewood on this set, you know, and this is exactly what it was like in Morocco. You know, these rocks are almost a replica of where we shot a scene where I was down at the water and then I rode off through the canyon. So it's the details that are fantastic. To go to Alamet, the elephants alone. I mean, the elephants were 12 feet tall. You know, how they made those, it baffles me, and there were 4 of them. And then you go onto this set and it's enormous, you know, it's a vast, huge set. It is exactly the golden age of set building. It's like from that era. You go onto these sets and they're huge. He's like a magician, you know. He creates these sets, and the beauty of Mr. Bruckheimer is he comes onto sets and he's like a kid, you know. He's excited. He's as excited about the sets. He's as excited about the costumes. He's as excited about the skills you learn and the story you're telling, you know. So it's, yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's magic, you know.
He is the right-hand man and confidant of the leader of the outlaws, a man called Sheikh Amar, which is played by a little-known actor by the name of Alfred Molina. Basically, what we've decided is that Sheikh Amar had saved him once a long time ago, and he felt indebted to him. He is a member of the Mbaka tribe and is an expert with knives and has an awful lot of them, including one wonderful one which I normally keep here, which has got a little head on it. It's got 3 blades on it. He's very good at throwing them and fighting with them in general. It's mind-boggling, actually, because, you know, they're such strange-looking creatures anyway. But the idea, I mean, to see an ostrich run anyway is quite funny. But then to see one with a little man strapped to the back of him, I mean, it's a highlight of the movie. And I didn't know about the Swiss Family Robinson. I thought this was like the first time ever, you know. No, I think that's going to blow people's minds.
What was very appealing to us was the way the game combined historical fiction with fantastic events. And we've always been interested in period pieces, period movies, and this provided us an opportunity to write an epic period movie with a lot of action and a lot of spectacle that would appeal to a broad variety of audiences.
I think audiences always want to go someplace they haven't seen before, and the approach to this movie with Jerry and with Mike Newell has been to sort of try to, you know, tell a great story and make it as visually spectacular as possible. And all the people working on it are really amazing artists in terms of production design and the wardrobe and the photography. It's all sort of top flight. And so to be able to recreate a world that people haven't really seen on film before at this level is really cool.
Okay, one thing our readers want to know is, why didn't you go 3D?
You know what? The technology wasn't quite there yet. You know, once Avatar came out, you saw, you know, how explosive 3D could be. But that film was done all on a soundstage, where our film was all done in the desert. So it's much more difficult when you have 2 cameras together, and the sand problems and the wind problems. We'd still be shooting it if we went 3D.
So if you'd started now, would you go 3D right away? Or
Yes.
Why? Like, do you think it's something that would stay for a long time, or it's just a trend that would just pass for some time? This 3D madness sort of thing.
Time will tell. We don't know, but you know, who knows what's next? I mean, the technology will keep getting better. The cameras are getting better. You know, they just came out with 2 new cameras that are fantastic. So you're going to see a lot more movies in 3D.
So you, as a producer, do see the future in 3D.
The future is in 3D, and whatever's next. It might be holograms next. Who knows? But there'll be something else that'll titillate the audience.
All right. So another thing that is quite trendy among Russian internet right now is to link the plots of the current Hollywood blockbusters to the actual international politics of the United States, if you know what I mean.
I understand.
So how would you comment on that in your film?
Well, none of it's based on any politics, but you can always match things up if you want to. Viewers, I'm sure, have wonderful imaginations, and they'll figure out a lot of ways that we match up with American politics.
Well, it's sort of, I mean, especially providing the fact that Persia is an actual Iran in the territory of Iran and Iraq, and they're looking for non-existing weapons there.
Right.
So do you think it gives the message, or it's just coincidence?
Well, first of all, Persia is Iraq, and I mean Iran, and Iraq is where the weapons were supposed to be, so 2 different countries.
So would you say that we should, I mean, we can find any second meaning in it, but you didn't mean for any of it to be there?
No, we don't make political films. We let you decide what's political, not us.
All right, perfect. So, and the regular question I would ask you, how did it all go with the film, with the crew, with the difficulty of Moroccan shooting? And did you go there, did you have hard times handling the climate and the sandstorms and the whole thing?
Well, the most difficult part was the heat. You know, unfortunately, we went there during the summer, but that's when we, you know, had everybody together to make the movie. And it was very hot, and we did have sandstorms. But you know what? Everybody had a great time, got out of there on time. So, you know, we loved the film that we made, and so it all worked out well. Morocco's a beautiful country to film in. All Russians should go to Morocco. It's a very lovely place.
I see. Great. There was an information in for the press that some other actors were casting for the main role, like Zac Efron, and so why did you choose Jake?
That's not true. Jake was always the first choice. We didn't look to anybody else. I've always wanted to work with Jake for a long time. Mike Newell met him and was thrilled with him, and so we ended up with Jake. So we got our first choice.
Well, you probably, I mean, in my childhood, I did play the Prince Persia. Probably for you it wasn't that big of a thing, but did you ever play the actual old game?
I didn't play the old game. I played more recent games, but I wasn't very good at it. So I'm like Mike Newell, the director. He had a hard time playing it. So did I.